Welcome back to Eye of the Storm. We're reporting here live again in San Diego County. We are here at the San Ysidro School District, which is at 4350 Otay Mesa Boulevard. The reason why we are here, it was interesting, I've been looking for some of these detention centers to, report on. And when looking for the Otay Mesa Detention Center, which on civiccorps.com is telling you where to go when you get directions to this facility, it takes you to a pinpoint on off of La Media Road, which is in the middle of the road. It doesn't really take you anywhere, but it's supposedly the school district. So why would that be attached here to this detention center in Otay Mesa for U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement? And it's a minimum medium security. It's been owned since 2015. This has been happening quite a bit today and along this journey to try and bring you the story of this border machine. A lot of times what you'll find is when you're looking something up, the map will take you somewhere completely different that isn't associated with the entity that you are looking for. And so earlier today, we were looking for one of the Catholic Charities corporate offices that took you over to a Grossmont school district, which was very interesting because there was no building for that there. But what it happens is it kind of sends you on a wild goose chase, and I believe that that's what they are trying to do so that this story can't get out and people can't uncover exactly what is happening in their own communities. But I think it's important to understand that when you're looking up this San Ysidro school district, it comes up as a migrant education center. So there's always ties that you can, pull together when you are looking to uncover the story, but it kind of, tries to send you around in circles. And all you really have to do is start looking deeper and not relying on the Google Maps to provide that information. In order to find this location, we had to go through another source to get the data, and that's what we have to continue to do because they love to obfuscate the truth. And in that, you can tell that they're trying to hide exactly what they're doing, and that's why it's a problem, because they don't want to, come to terms or have people come to terms with or acknowledge that this is an invasion on our border, and we should be very concerned. Many people want to be concerned about the elections and how this is going to affect the voter rolls and the electoral college and all of those things. And yes, that is a concern, but I do believe that the safety and security of our nation is a far greater risk than that, that we should be paying attention to the fact that not only is it going to affect those the election, but the idea is that it's going to completely change and is already changing our nation from the inside out. And they want to destroy America. And we have to understand that it is not by chance. It's not like this wasn't designed to happen. But they need America to fall from within. It's never going to be from the outside in. It's going to be from the inside out. And they want us to destroy ourselves and each other. And the problem is that we are concentrating on an election that may or may not happen, but what happens after that, once you understand that, especially like I've told you before, in May when the Pandemic Preparedness Treaty is coming down the pipe and they can lock us down, I'm not so sure that the elections in November will be of our greatest concern. So that's why I continue to try and open up your minds and eyes to see and have the discernment to understand what is actually happening. And as long as they try to blur the lines and say that it's really just about an election when it is far greater than that, when we've already had many people be murdered or raped or many things, it is a far greater concern about humanity and the humanitarian crisis that they are creating, pretending that it's a crisis and a humanitarian one is for the reasons why they need to come to this nation and invade other countries across the world. So we will continue to bring you this story. I wanted to very much so give you an update so that you could see that what is happening is they are doing a very good job to try and keep the people from knowing what's happening. And when you have something on a map like that where, if somebody's actually looking for the school district and they try and pinpoint it that way, you're not really going to be able to And so, you know, it's going to send anybody on a wild goose chase. But that's the idea, is that they don't want to be transparent. They want people looking around and not knowing which way to turn. But I guarantee you that we will continue to uncover this story, because no matter what, we know that the light is guiding us. God is guiding us. And it is not the darkness or Satan and his dominions that are sitting here who are pushing the other side to do what they are doing, trying to make us out to be the bad people who are uncovering this and bringing the truth to you guys. And even though the truth is not that easy to swallow all the time, it's the pill that most people want but are having a hard time taking down their esophagus or into their brain. And that's why I would encourage you to continue to let yourself be educated and informed, and not to be told exactly, you know, do your own research as well. You know, don't be stuck in the confines of what they want you to believe, so that you can be brainwashed into believing that what is happening is actually not, and that these are asylum-seeking migrants that just need to basically resettle. Again, there are children that have gone missing. Right now, how many children have gone missing today? I don't know. But it's a good question to ask. And not only through the invasion, but through our own Health and Human Services Agency, who deals with child welfare, child protective services, and the foster care system, and of the like. I mean, if you can see what is happening, even in HHSA, they are trying to change the behaviors, as well as our own government and the people that are in charge, so that we just go along to get along and don't look at what really is happening. Make your life so difficult that you are just barely staying afloat, so that you are dependent upon them. And that's what they want, is us to be fully dependent upon them. And if you can see that the fruits of their labor are nothing that is making our communities flourish, you would understand that this is why we have to turn away from believing them, going through this and sweeping everything under the rug. This is very serious. That's why I'm going to continue to bring you the story, so that you can understand this isn't just about an election. This is about the safety of your children, of your life, and all of the things that you want to preserve. So I encourage you to do some really deep digging into your own soul and mind, and really ask yourself if you're prepared, like I was just asking at the last episode or live that we did. You really need to figure out if you are, and if you're not, then what are you going to do to make sure that you're prepared to protect your family, to make sure that if we get locked down again and the resources are spread so thin that we are, you know, having to really fight for them, what are you going to do? Are you prepared right now? Do you have the means necessary to be on a lockdown again, per se, that happens? I feel like when COVID came along, the pandemic, and all of the, you know, propaganda for an invisible killer dot, what happened? We gave them an inch and they took a mile. How much more are you willing to give them? Your child's life? Your life? Everything that you have? See, I'm content losing everything, because I know who my Creator is and where I'm going to go and who's guiding me. We need to figure that out. Who are you following? You can't have two masters. You can't serve two masters. And right now, so many people are serving the masters of this world, and not the Creator that created them and gave them life. And that is why we are in the place that we're at. Because when we turn away from God, these things happen. He allows it for us to see, for us to know. And when we're going through evil times, He uses it for good. And that's why you have to understand, this is our own doing. And it's time that we stop perpetuating all of the evil, because it's too hard to acknowledge. Just like the people dying from the vaccines and different things like that. Nobody wants to acknowledge it. Instead, they want the news to tell you that the sunlight is going to cause you to have a heart attack, or different things like that. So then all of a sudden you're just afraid that anything is going to be causing it, when in fact they'll never tell you that it's the injection, the bioweapon genocide shot that they are injecting us with, that they have been for eons. But we believe the lie, right? We go along to get along because it's easier. I want to keep my job. It's going to get to the point where you're going to have to choose between your life and possibly somebody else's. And that's why I'm not trying to make you afraid, but you got to understand that this predicament that we are facing is not something that we should be ignoring. And if we're not prepared to deal with it, It's not going to be good. There may not even be an election this year at the rate we're going. And it's all because, we don't want to really focus on the truth and see what's happening, and that our nation is at a severe risk right now. And I don't know what else needs to happen, because we've seen so many things have already taken place that should be enough. That's why I'm saying it shouldn't have to take it affecting your life so close that it's right in your face. Because nobody should have to deal with that. So I encourage you to keep trying to seek what your purpose even is in this place right now, because we're here for a reason. And we can change the trajectory of things, but as much as we sit here and we go along with this, we perpetuate that. But that means all we have to do is do an about face. It's that easy, and as a collective, we can do it. Look at how easy it is for them to destroy the world around us. And then on the other side of that, the slaves that they are enslaving, we just kind of, we'll try and get connected, and then it's a fractured society. But if we were just as determined as they were to save the world as they are determined to destroy it, imagine the kind of world that we can live in. It's almost as if we are at a crossroads, and if you can see a visual where it's like you're walking down a path, and on one side, on the left, it's all of the people trying to destroy everything, trying to get you to march down to their new world. And it's people like Klaus Schwab, the likes of Nora Vargas, right, the President of the United States, and all of these nefarious people that are following Satan and doing his bidding. And you see up in the horizon with them, it's basically the apocalypse, and it's just darkness and destruction. And on the other side, you see the angels and the army of light, which are us, that are trying to make a better world for all of us. And we can. We are creators. We're made in the image of our Creator, and we will do greater things than Jesus did. Imagine that. So on the other side, we're trying to march them into a new world, one away from this darkness. And there's just abundance, and it's beautiful, and there's just plenty. It's never that there's not enough. It's never that we have to take from them, rob from Peter to pay Paul, right? And so we have a choice to make. Which way are you going to go? Are we going to continue down the path of the left and into total destruction, or are we going to go to the right where the light is and go to the abundant life that we have and we can create? But it's up to us. It's up to us to make a decision on what we're going to do, which path we're going to take. And if you're not willing to make that choice, somebody else is going to make it for you. And I think it's time that we start driving the own car that we're in, not letting somebody else do it, sitting in the back seat, just going, well, and then I can just blame them if it doesn't go right. Well, all of us are to blame right now for what's happening around us. And until we're ready to step out of that, it's just going to get worse. So look at yourself and ask yourself, what are you willing to do to change the world around you, knowing that you can make the posterity have something left to hold on to want to fight for. So I thank you guys for joining us this evening. I hope that gave you a little bit more of an insight of all of the tricks that they're trying to play to keep us from uncovering the truth and exposing it. But we will continue to do that. And I ask you again, if you have any tips and you would like to have us look into anything, or you just want to share something that you think might be something, call 619-678-1442. You can also go to sandiegolivedata@gmail.com or sandiegolivedata.com to find out more information. And you can also email me at audra.eyeofthestorm@proton.me. Again, we're here outside of the San Ysidro School District, which is also a migrant education center, that we were brought here through looking for the Otay Mesa Detention Center that ICE is using. And really, and I don't really care if I'm going to say this, because I'm looking for the children. And we will find them, because I know that God is leading me down that path, and He is opening up all the doors that need to be opened, and He will continue to do that, because these are His children. And He will not stand idly by while this happens to them, and none of us should. So it's time for us to stop doing what we're doing and turn away. God bless you guys. I love you. Continue to follow us. We'll continue to bring the story that the mainstream media won't tell, because it's important that we do it. We're bringing you the transparency that nobody else is willing to do, saying the hard things that nobody else is willing to say, and knowing that I'm protected in doing that. So if anybody wants to come after me, go ahead, because I have the King of Kings on my side. What do you got? King of Darkness? You know what happens to them, right? All right, yeah, we all know. So God bless you guys.